which I am posting this video, the first day of official summer is only about a week away, but it certainly already feels like summer outside. So in order to honor and celebrate these warmer days, I wanted to design a pattern that correlated well with my favorite summer hobby, which is hiking. So I made this water bottle holder with this fun, groovy, like wavy pattern, and I made this pattern to fit just an average size water bottle. I currently have my Awalo water bottle in here, but really any of the normal sized water bottles that could fit into like a cup holder would be perfect for this pattern. If you have a smaller or a bigger water bottle, I also kind of talk you through how to adjust the pattern to fit those as well. And my favorite thing about this pattern is the handle here, because if you are familiar with any crochet bags, you would be aware that the handles tend to stretch very easily, and once they do stretch, they don't really bounce back. So I have made this handle with a different kind of crochet stitch that's actually quite dense and also resistant to stretch. Like, this is a long-lasting handle. So I'm going to show you how to make the no stretch handle, as well as this adorable cover and holder for your water bottle. And if you are new here, hello, I'm so happy to have you here. I post a new crochet tutorial once every single week, so if you would like to subscribe, that would really help me to continue bringing these tutorials to you every single week, and I hope to see you back here again soon. I'll be using both this bright yellow and this bright blue acrylic yarn, perfect summer colors. We're going to make a circle at the bottom for the base of the holder. So I'm going to start by just making a slip knot, casting on my hook. I'm using a 4.25mm hook for this, and I'm going to begin by chaining 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then into that first chain we made, I'm inserting my hook, and we're going to do a slip stitch. So I'm pulling the yarn through both loops, securing this into a little circle. I'm then going to chain 1. And now into the center of this circle here, I'm going to place 12 single crochets. So I'm going to go all the way around with 12 single crochets. 11 and 12 single crochets. I'm then going to find that very first single crochet that we made. So this one right here. Inserting my hook, I'm going to make a slip stitch. So there is the start of our little circle, and now in this next row we're going to begin increasing, so I'm going to chain 1, and now into this very first stitch I'm going to place 2 single crochets in the exact same stitch, like so. I'm then going to do 1 normal single crochet, and then in the next stitch again I'm going to place 2 single crochets in the exact same stitch. So every other stitch along here we're going to be increasing. So again, I'm doing just 1 normal single crochet, and then the next stitch I'm going to do an increase. So 1 and 2 single crochets into the same exact stitch. So now going back to the very first stitch we made, I'm going to insert my hook and place a slip stitch. So you should have 18 stitches all the way around now. In our next row we're going to do some more increases. So I'm chaining 1, and I'm going to start by placing a single crochet in each of these next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3 single crochets. And now in this 4th stitch we're going to do an increase, so in here I'm going to place 2 single crochets, both in the exact same stitch. Okay, then we're going to do another 2 single crochets like normal, so one after the other. 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochet. Then we're going to do another increase, so in this next stitch we're doing 2 single crochets into the same stitch, like so. Then we're going to normally crochet again into 3 stitches, so 3 single crochets, and then the 4th stitch here is going to get an increase, 2 single crochets into the exact same stitch. Then I'm going to do 2 stitches with a single crochet. So there's 1 and 2. And now the 3rd stitch is going to get an increase, so 2 single crochets into the exact same stitch, like so. Then we're going to do another 3 stitches like normal, so 1, 2, and 3. The 4th stitch here is going to get an increase. So 1, 2, and then slip stitch into that first crochet that we made to complete row number 3. So by the end of row 3, you should have 23 stitches all the way around. I'm then going to go ahead and chain 1 so we can begin on row 4. I'm going to start by placing 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Into the 4th stitch, we're going to do an increase, so 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. Here's our increase. I'm then going to place a single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and then an increase. I'm then going to place a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3, with an increase into the next stitch. So 2 single crochets into 1 stitch for an increase, 2 stitches of single crochet, 1, 2, and an increase. Three stitches of single crochet. So there's 1, 2, and 3, with an increase into that 4th stitch. And again, we're going to do 3 stitches of single crochet. So 1, 2, and 3, with an increase into that 4th stitch. Now finally, we're going to do 2 more stitches of single crochet. And then insert my hook into that very first stitch that we made and slip stitch together, completing row number 4. And now at the end of row 4, you should have 30 stitches all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 so we can begin onto row 5. I'm going to start row 5 by placing an increase into this very first stitch. So 2 single crochets into that first stitch, like so. I am then going to place a single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 stitches, with an increase into that next stitch. The next 3 stitches now get a single crochet, so 1, 2, 3 stitches of single crochet, and an increase into that next stitch. 4 stitches of single crochet next, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, with an increase into that 5th stitch. Increase right there, and then we're going to do another 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 stitches of single crochet with an increase into that next stitch. Then after that increase, we're going to do another 4 stitches of single crochet. 2, 3, 4, and an increase. The next 4 stitches again get a single crochet. 2, 3, 4, increase, and single crochet into that last stitch. I'm then going to insert my hook into the first single crochet and slip stitch to close off our circle. By the end of row 5, you should have 37 stitches going all the way around, and I'm going to stop here in terms of making the circle wider, because if I bring my water bottle in, you can see that it is perfectly lined up with the bottom of this water bottle. However, if you are using a wider water bottle, you may have to add a few more rows. Keep in mind that if you want an even ripple stitch, you're going to need to increase in variables of 12 with an additional stitch. So right now we have 37, but if you were to increase it and you wanted it to remain even, you'd need to increase it by another 12, which would bring you to 49. So if you don't increase in variables of 12, you can still work with this pattern. The ripples just won't line up perfectly each time. I'm filming in mid-afternoon right now, so the sun's going a little bit crazy, but as I was saying, this water bottle holder is sort of for standard size. I think it should work with most water bottles, as it's made for a water bottle that would fit typically in like a normal size cup holder. I have said water bottle way too many times in this whole conversation now. We're going to start working up onto the sides, and I'm going to continue with this blue color for a little bit still. I'm going to start by chaining 1. And in these first 2 stitches, I'm going to place a single crochet. In the next 2 stitches, we're going to do a half double crochet. I'm trying to kind of work with the sun here. So in these next 2 stitches, you're then going to place a half double crochet. So you do that by yarning over, inserting your hook into the stitch, bringing the yarn back. So you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops, like so. So yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. 2 half double crochet, then you're going to do 2 double crochet just like normal. Pull through 2, pull through 2. So 2 double crochet, and now you're going to need 2 treble crochets, which is done by yarning over twice, inserting your hook into that next stitch, bringing the yarn through. So you should have 4 loops here on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, so now you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, so now you have 2, and yarn over, pull through those last 2. So we're going to do that one more time, yarn over twice into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So far you should kind of see we're getting up in height here with 2 single crochets, 2 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, 2 treble crochets. So then we're going to work our way back down with 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. So here's a double crochet, 1, 2, and now 2 half double crochets. Now we're going to place 2 single crochets. And so there we can see we have our first sort of starting at the 2 single crochets, works its way up and right back down. So it's our first like ripple pattern there. So we're going to work our way back up again with 2 half double crochets. Two double crochets, two treble crochets, and now work our way back down with 2 double crochets, two half double crochets, and 2 single crochets. So I'm just going to continue that same process of working my way back up and then back down until I reach the end of the circle. And once I completed that row, I went ahead and slip stitched into our very first single crochet. If you got the count correct, then it should line up perfectly where you end on 2 half doubles. That way they connect right into those first 2 single crochets that we made. And now I'm going to go ahead and switch colors. Our next color is going to be this vibrant yellow. So if I go back to my design here and I go up to the top, I'm going to find the first of our 2 treble crochets. And you can tell where your treble crochets are because if you look here, a single crochet has just the 1 wrap of yarn, where a treble crochet has 2 wraps of yarn. So that's how you know it's a treble crochet, if you can see sort of the difference between the two. And so I'm going into the very first one of these 2 treble crochets with my hook, and then I'm going to bring my yellow yarn through. So here's my yellow yarn, and I'm just bringing it right through, and I'm going to chain 1, and in that exact same stitch I'm going to place a single crochet, as well as into the next stitch, which is our second treble crochet. So now you can see that we have our lowest stitch of the pattern, so the single crochet, on top of the tallest stitch of the previous row, which was the treble crochet. So now we're going to work our way back up. So now we're doing 2 half double crochets into these next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. And now we're going to do 2 double crochets. And now into these next 2 stitches, which should be the lowest point of your last row, we're going to do our tallest stitches, which is our 2 treble crochets. And now we're working our way back down for this row, so I'm going to do 2 double crochets, 2 half double crochets, and finally 2 single crochets. So this is the exact same pattern as we did with the original row, and I'm going to continue this all the way back around. I'm going to work my way back up, back down, up and down, and I'll see you at the end of this row. Again, at the end of the row, I went ahead and slip stitched into that very first single crochet that we made, and now I like to do 2 rows of each of these colors. So to do the next row, I'm going to chain 3. And now we're going to place a treble crochet into that same stitch that I just chained from. And 1 more treble crochet, so we can have 2 treble crochets. So now from here I'm going to begin to work my way back down. So I'm going to do 2 double crochets, 2 half double crochets, 2 single crochets, 2 half double crochets, because now we're working our way back up, 2 double crochets, and 2 treble crochets. So just like before, I'm going to continue that same pattern all the way around this row, and I'll see you at the end of the row. Ending here on my 2 double crochets, I'm then going to slip stitch into that first treble crochet that we made, therefore completing our 2 rows of the yellow. And now you can see, more so than even before, we're sort of getting this bowl shape here. The sides are really coming up, so I can bring my water bottle in and make sure it fits snugly inside, like so, which that is just a perfect fit. So I'm going to go ahead and continue making a bunch more of these yellow and blue stripes all the way up until it reaches the top of my water bottle, and then I'll show you how to make the handle. So now, as you can see here, I have built the stripes fully up to cover my water bottle, and now we can add a handle. So I just want to show you this quickly, the difference between these 2 stitches. So here's a little swatch of what a normal handle may look like in crochet, made out of single stitch crochet. And when you put pressure on it, as you would if you have a full water bottle holding against it, you can see that it stretches quite easily, and it also stretches very far. And then when you go to release it, it doesn't bounce back as well as you may like. And over time, especially with the acrylic yarn, this stretch is going to become permanent, and it's really going to thin out your handle. So I'm going to teach you how to do this stitch instead. As you can see, the handle is much denser here. It doesn't stretch quite as far, and it bounces back easily. It still isn't foolproof, especially with the use of acrylic yarn like I am using, but it is much sturdier, and it's going to last you a lot longer. So this is called a thermal crochet stitch, and it's called thermal crochet because it's often used for things like hot pads, because it's so dense that the heat can't get through it. So I'm going to show you how to make this stitch instead. It is a little bit tricky to pick up, but once you get the hang of it, it's just a breeze, and you can get this whole strap done in a matter of minutes. So we're going to use our yellow yarn for the strap today, and I'm going to start by just casting on. And now I'm going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now going into this first chain, I'm going to go down with single crochets like normal, just picking up that one loop or one chain. So we should have 5 stitches going down here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to chain 1. So now with normal crochet, I would be turning my work and just beginning to work my way all the way back down this row. But instead of turning my work, I'm going to actually hold it like this, like so. And now I'm going to insert my hook. So if you look on the top here, you can see how there's 2 loops in each of these stitches. So I'm going to insert my hook in between those 2 loops on this first stitch, picking up just that one first loop here. In between the 2 loops at the top, picking up just that front loop, again holding it like this, I think that's vertical. I'm then going to go down to the bottom where our chain was. I'm going to pick up that loop directly below, like so. I'm going to yarn over, pull through both of these loops, yarn over, pull through 2, making a single crochet. I'm then going to go to the next stitch, and again I'm going between the 2 loops, picking up that front loop. I'm going down to the chain, picking up the loop from the chain. I'm going to pull through 2 loops and pull through 2. Again, I'm going to the next stitch. I'm picking up that front loop. I'm going down and then picking up the loop of the chain and single crochet. So the first row of this is always the hardest. And once you get past this bit, it's a lot easier. So now I'm going to single crochet, turn my work like normal. Now, if you look at this work so far, you can see the stitches here at the top where we'd normally just place a single crochet. If you look one row below them, you can see these loops here. So when we placed our hook into the top and we picked up just the front loop, that left the back loop open. So now you can see on this side of our work that these are the back loops that we didn't pick up. So now we're going to go back and we're going to pick up those loops. Can be a little bit tight and you might have to bring in a needle to help loosen up that stitch, but I picked up that back loop, and now going to the top, I'm just going to pick up the front loop, leaving the back loop behind for our next row. So now again, I'm going to place a single crochet. And now going to the next stitch, I can see here is that back loop from our previous row. So I'm going to pick that up, and again going through only the front loop of that stitch. Single crochet. Like so. So I'm going to do that 5 times to complete this row. So again, I'm looking here and I can see the back loop, and I'm picking up, there we go, just the front loop of that stitch. Okay, and just like that, I've done 5 stitches of the thermal crochet, completing that row. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and that's honestly all there is to it. And I'm just going to repeat this all the way down and continue doing as many rows as I need until the strap is long enough. Here is the bright summer color palette, and if you make one of these for yourself, then please tag me in any pictures that you post, because I would love to see how yours turned out. And I am so excited to take this out hiking. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing. Please also like this video. Put a comment down below what you thought of this video, or if you have any recommendations of patterns you would like to see on this channel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful summer, and I will see you next week.